Well, big dispatch for the Hellraisers here at the GG.Bet New York Invitational. We've got another best of 3 coming right up. My name is Dinko. I've replaced Hugo here. We sent him away again, Hal, for hopefully he's
had
okay.
enough of him.
And he's done, yeah.
Yeah, no, we sent him back in an Uber to the hotel. We didn't leave him wandering the streets this time around because we figured out he found his way back to the hotel anyway, so we might as well make it easy for him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he stays alive. That's all good. We're ready to go again. We've got another best of 3 coming up, though, and it's going to be Sprout taking on Bpro.
Yeah.
Bpro actually were a bit of a surprise coming into this tournament, right? They're the team that came through the Open qualifier. They ended up winning that, and they went on to play Optic, who we would pitch as one of the favorites in this tournament.
Yep.
And they ended up playing them super close, nearly the overtime.
Yeah, I mean, 19-17 on overpass.
On overtime.
Yeah, definitely an impressive showing out of them. And now we're going into the map Vito versus Sprout for themselves. So we see Vertigo and Overpass being removed immediately. Sprout probably having an eyes on that matchup versus Optic earlier on today, or yesterday, I should say, to remove that. Nuke and Train being picked coming through. Dust going to go by the wayside, and that leaves us with a potential last map of Mirage.
Mirage. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, no, you got it. Well, I mean, Mirage and Inferno, but yep. It's going to be the 3 maps for the entire series. I'd say I'd favor Sprout on all 3 maps.
Yeah, I think you have to at this point. Sprout, the better team on paper, you have to make that decision every single time. You know, if you have to make predictions, you have to go with the educated decision, even though you know there's a slight possibility that the other team
you can hope and wish all you want, right? Yeah. Normally, things play out the way it's meant to. So yeah, Sprout obviously have much more experience behind them. They play at a higher level on, I guess, an everyday basis, right? Yeah. They are part of the I guess one step up in terms of online leagues and so on. So they get better matching, and that's usually what makes you a better team in the long run of it. And I think Sprout just by themselves have had a pretty decent rise of form as a team ever since you had the swap with Dennis moving over to Big, and the changes that came with it. They've been looking pretty decent.
They actually haven't, but because they play online so much, there's a really solid team online as well. So
yeah, very, very good.
Here we go, into the pistol on Train. It's going to be Speedy towards the bottom of the ramp. Bpro starts to take control towards the upper brown holes. Well, it's going to be a bit of a slower approach once they get into their position, but it looks like it's a pretty easy one to call. It's going to be a Bpro hit into the B bomb site. Yeah,
they're going to do it off of smoke and a flash, and we'll see if the Molotov actually comes to use early on or not. For now, though, 2 players holding steady on Sprout's side. There's nothing really on the side of Bpro that can actually sell a fake here, so we're probably not going to see any sort of rotation happening. Smoke comes in. If anything, there's going to be more Sprout players abound. Molotov hasn't gone down for Connector, though, so a little bit curious about that. They just go for the firing squad down lower. That's going to net them the first frag.
Okay, back into the Speedo. Oh, towards the Connector, Molotov comes in. It's going to be the kill from Zix, and Raf2 picks one up as well. This is not going good for Sprout whatsoever. Well, Raf2 keeps pushing forward, containing the Sprout side over towards the A-bomb site. There's absolutely no chance here for them to win it. Bpro will find the pistol, and Sprout, well, they're trying to run away and save the Kevlar and the utility.
Yeah. The Fuse Kid on Mirrorbit wants to have that going into the next round. Faven can hang around, see if it picks up a couple of additional kills. $300 for everyone he can find, but not really too much of an interest from Bpro to go hunting. They just want to secure the round, get off to a good start here on their own map pick. Keep in mind, Nuke being the second one. Bpro only have 1 registered map on Nuke compared to the 13 of Sprout.
Yeah, we're not going to have a lot of statistics to go off for this Bpro team, sadly. They just never really play in these levels of tournaments.
Exactly, they haven't gotten up to that point yet, and Sprout are obviously a mainstay. We can see the odds kind of reflecting that as well from GG.Bet.
Yeah, they're actually pretty close in comparison to what they were before the game. Before the game, it was something like 6.5 or something towards Bpro. So they've dropped them with that pistol win.
Yeah, they've come far. We'll see how long it lasts. Buy-up coming in from Sprout as well. 1 scout on Faven. Deagle's abound, and Mirrorbit picking up an MP9.
Well, there's going to be Keto going down early. Zix able to get that one. We'll continue in towards the A-bomb site. It's the MAC-10 of Dennis Law, who actually looked pretty solid yesterday when he got the AWP into his hands. And he's continuing to get cash with the MAC-10, so maybe we'll see that come through early into this. Faven Speedy back it away, and again, job done for Bpro. Pretty cleanly picked up.
Faven just wants to hold on to that scout, see if he can get another chance to do some tag damage in round number 3. Bpro, I think, more or less needed this kind of a start as well. We saw I think it was day 1 in the best of 3 series where, or maybe it was day 2. Regardless, just teams getting shut out on the T side.
Yeah,
and that was Optic in the Optic game.
Yeah, and it's quite, actually on the first day it was quite the contrast, right? Because that's when we seen the CIS teams play and they love the T side.
Having a good time all around. Faven still alive. He's getting hunted down. Drops a nade. Ooh. Not enough to kill Dennis. Even though he does find a parting gift in Raftu, he's going to lose the scout.
He just has to ruin that clean sheet with the 1 kill coming in. Well, will be Bpro on 2-0. Sprout, they haven't really got too much money for this one, so most likely a 3-0 start for Bpro coming into this. And if you're an underdog, you want to make sure that you get off to a good start on your own map pick as well, and this is the exact start that they want.
Absolutely so. Just being able to hold off the force bet without taking too much damage is great. As you said, Denislaw is going to just stay on that max in for as long as humanly possible. Make sure he gets so much cash that it's never going to be any sort of danger in picking up an off. Cheeky little Seuss. On the side of Spitty, he's actually going to move away from the one angle where he probably could have done a lot with it. Oh, scratch that behind too. Oh, but efficient trades coming in from Bpro even before that came to fruition. But I guess the chaos is going to maintain. We had a lot of that in Big versus Hellraisers.
Oh. Well, there we go. Rocky will finish off the job, but that was pretty scary stuff there from Spitty. Gets in behind him, could have got the triple kill. And well, anything in that round 4 Sprout was a bonus, and you can see immediately going for the double op setup. Now, Train is probably one of the most op-centric maps within Counter-Strike, so definitely very viable here.
Absolutely so.
That's just ridiculous. They had no idea he was there.
Snuck up behind him like a ninja. So some damage done. Denislaw opting to go for an AK, so tempo might be high here on the side of Bpro. They're just storming right out into yard. Not letting anyone on the side of Sprout actually settle, but there we go. 2 returns come in, 3v3.
Well, Kito spreads on as well. Raftu and Rockin looking back into this for Bpro. Will this be the first on the board though for Sprout? As Rockin takes damage on board, he's dropped to 15 HP. And the cross is being held as well. This is going to be difficult, but the smoke has gone down, and that'll prevent the vision from Faven. So the bomb plant can come through. And Kito slithering by. There's the kill on the Raftu. Last player is Rocking, 15 HP. This is going to be so difficult for him to pull it off. 3 players, multiple different angles to play with. He looks towards Pop Dog. That's where Spitty's coming in. Here's the utility being used on the bomb site. That's going to turn his attentions elsewhere, and Spitty will pick up the kill.
Well held by Sprout there. Being able to stabilize after the quick push into yard from Bpro. Almost having a couple of frags going against them right off the bat, but Kito stayed strong throughout that entire time. Held himself pretty hidden as well. Very well done, and that's going to be a lot of upgrades for Sprout. I say a lot. Get to maintain the 2 ops and also pick up an AK.
That's actually the risk there with Sprout as well. If they lose that round and they've invested 2 ops into it, that's going to mess their economy up for
Absolutely. Could very easily be looking at 5 rounds for Bpro right off the bat. Now then, Sprout getting back onto winning ways.
That's also not done yet. You know, they could still lose this one, and that would screw
very
them
much
up.
so. That's the constant fear when you run double ops. Right now, there is an op out on Denislaw, and as you said, day 1 was looking pretty solid with that weapon in hand. Day 2, I should say.
They all blend into one.
Yeah. Earlier in the tournament. That's what we're going with.
Here goes the run boost. Favren, he's going to be looking for it. Here it goes.
Should have seen the feed.
Yeah, it's just in his big toes, and he wants to take him away, but it's Denislaw. Too quick on the trigger. Fastest gun in the West.
Well, lucky Luke staying alive here for Bpro. Ops not being able to be retrieved either by Mirbit. Now he needs to keep his eyes diverted on 2 different places here. Teammate still open. Forward positioning on Kito and Pop Dog, expecting his drop down to come soon. Might be happening as well. 6. Working out above. Stepping a little bit as well, so there's confirmation for Kito at least that there's somebody nearby. They've given up Ivy completely for the time being. It's Searson picking it from the 5 train. With cover from... Ooh, that's nicely done. Deep Molotov forces Kito forward, and bit by bit, Sprout are falling apart here.
Seriously finding the kills on the ult, but Spitty finding one back as well. Well, it is falling apart, but it's a 1v1 with Denislaw up against Spitty, who's on the bomb site, peeks in, and the headshots there. Again, so scary for Sprout, but they managed to prevail. And Spitty has really been the talisman for them. 3 kills again.
That was a wild turnaround. Seriously, with 2 really difficult op shots to get them back into it. And meanwhile, that creates space for Spitty to keep them at bay the entire time. That was looking so good for Bpro, finding 3 early frags. To be kicking themselves for that right now. They still have somebody to work off of, and this is quite the buy. 4 MAC-10s and an AK.
If you can call it that.
Yeah, curious as to where they want to go with this. Going into yard, it can be a bit of a difficulty, considering you need to close the gap and close the range quite a bit. Seems like that's where they want to go, though. Oh, they've been definitely caught off guard. Good for 1.
Oh no, that is very awkward for Keto, but luckily Mirbit is there with 2, backing him up as Searson. And well, when Bpro look like they've caught a break, it just falls apart again.
Yeah. Well, the recurring theme is that Bpro are close, but not close enough.
That was something they had against Optic as well, which is a big problem.
Closing out rounds. To be fair, they didn't go into that round with too much to work off of, so the fact that they find the openings they do is somewhat surprising with MAC-10s, but at least gives you hopes in terms of what you can imagine they can do once they have AKs back at it again. And they seemingly like to keep a pretty high tempo here on Train, which is not necessarily the norm. Let's see if that changes up a bit. For now, though, Veltrix on into Olaf. I think he's been unspotted as well, but Faven's going to keep an eye on it regardless. Oh, there we go. Nothing else, now you know.
Well,
Keto has heard this. Is he going to swing past, though? He's waiting for the flash.
He wants it so bad, and oh my god, he gets his head torn off. Viltrex turns around, and there it is. The greed from Keto cost him his life, but luckily the kill come back in from his teammates, but the rest of the charge is
not having a good time in Ivy.
Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, maybe he's having a much better time of it. Searson's going to help him out as well. Yeah, the greed being a little bit too much from Keto there. He had just one thing in mind. But still, it's always Sprout ending up winning rounds at the tail end of it. So 4 in a row, still being able to keep these ops alive. That's really what matters. So even though Faven's dying, they're managing to stay afloat.
He always seems to get 1 kill, but his positioning sometimes costs him his life because he's in that position for 1, but can't get away.
Yeah, very much caught in the open. Searson getting really aggressive here. Ooh, so quick as well. Now Faven finally got away from the first frag too.
Yeah, that might be enough just to win Sprout this round already.
It's definitely going to stabilize him. Searson just always pushing places. That's from higher. Threw a Molotov as well. Bomb dropped. He's going to have information on that too. So they know where Bpro has to end up eventually, but they've decided to take a bit more of a passive approach here, not going to test their luck with all the aggression they've put up so far.
1 minute and 5 seconds left. This would be incredible if Bpro even find a way to make this competitive.
That's very true. It's such a big investment on their end as well. The problem is you can't really decide to save 1 minute 10 into the round. Eventually, that's going to be something Sprout are aware of. They're going to start hunting you, and you're in a really rough spot. They need to have some sort of presence, even if they never have an, I guess, end-game idea of wanting to execute towards a bomb site. Just keep the CTs at bay. But I feel this is very optimistic.
Well, they come in towards Speedy on the B-bomb site. He's waiting for them. He's got the first, but traded right back by Denislaw. And with 25 seconds, it's more realistic that he wants to save this. He kind of has to, but they're going to put pressure on him. They want to get rid of it, and well, he has to hit the no-scope here. Coming around the corner, and it's going to be Mirbit. Too quick on the trigger.
No triple ops.
Yeah,
don't go there.
It's like, have we got an op already? Yes, we've got 2.
We're good, we're good. Searson's so aggressive.
Yeah.
Quick to boot.
It's really good to see an Oppo have that sort of confidence as well, because if you get an Oppo that's working well at the start of a game, that can be such a winning condition for you. If you can continue that throughout the entirety of the CT half, you can bring complete pain on this Bpro side.
Absolutely. See if he's going to be able to keep it up. This time it's Faven, who's been given the opportunity to go towards inner. He's going to run into fair few players as well. Finds Raph with a nice flash and Speedy to set him up for that. And again, multiple players spotted on the side of Bpro too.
happiness going through the ramp.
He's going to decide to duck further back, knowing that they're going up against pistols. Smoke comes in, not really going to affect Speedy's positioning. He's just sitting in an anti-flash right now. There it goes. Actually, they've been missing a pretty easy sitter. And Viltrex, nice connection to down one. And that's going to be a bomb plant.
Oh no, that's just so awkward. Mirabit sees so many opponents but can't connect a single kill. And while Zix continues forward, this is all falling apart for Sprout.
Sprout's positioning is terrible.
Yeah.
Not really a whole lot else to say about that one. Keto left alone, 1v4. What should have been such an easy round. Just gift wrap everything for Bpro to take that in. I think the only one you can really excuse is the first frag they get onto Spitty on the back three train, right? That's just a great deagle shot from Viltrex. But outside of that, everyone's seemingly getting caught out in no man's land.
You got to feel like when you're going up against pistols, the positioning should be relatively simple to do as well. You just play further back. You have a good position. You can peek out and get the info, and then get the kills from long range. But
yeah, you limit the angles they shot from. They did none of that. Dennis lost super aggressive out into yard. He's going to fight Searson. One of the two oppers down. Oh, that's a great flash.
It's definitely individual skill here on the T side, and they're showing that well here against the Sprout team. But Spitty, he'll try and display some of his own. He will fall, though, after the one kill. Now it's Favin on his own, 1v3. Open hand, bomb plant coming through. More realistic, we'll see him save this into the next one.
He's making an attempt for it, but you give away a lot of money on the side of Bpro because they survived with 4, they picked up guns. So their economy is kind of set with that bomb plant down. They could definitely go hunting. But they might not be expecting Favin to have that secondary op. He hasn't fired off a single shot yet. At the very least, Bpro secure a 5th round.
Well, Favin will be able to carry over the AWP into the next one. We'll see if he decides to keep it, or does he give it over to Searson, who has certainly been more impactful, I would say.
Oh, no. Is he going to light? No. Oh, boy.
How does that happen? Never mind. Scratch all of that. No AWP to work with at all for Sprout. Nothing in the bag at all. And Bpro, well, they'll be very happy about picking that one up.
Absolutely. Rinsed everything that was in the bag for Sprout within the span of 2 rounds. One of them they weren't really meant to win at all. They'll take it. Going to be happy about it as well as you see the pause coming in. That's definitely Sprout needing to talk things over. They're getting caught off guard by the aggression on the side of Bpro. For Bpro, they have to be supremely confident about how this is panning out as well. Even in the rounds that they've lost in the 5-round streak we saw out of Sprout, a lot of the rounds started off with Bpro finding opening frags, and then it's basically individual prowess that carries Sprout through and brings it back into a place where they can actually win at the round. They can't rely necessarily on that for the entirety of the time. Bpro are doing such a good job of opening things up.
Especially on the T side of Trin as well. We always talk about how that's one of the most difficult sides within Counter-Strike, and Bpro being the underdog, definitely showing they can play this map. There's going to be some aggression towards the B ramp from Sprout. The stack comes in. Kiko spotted. And well, that's the kill coming right through. But Mirabit will get one onto Rocking. The spam comes in from Zix. He's looking for multiple players here, but can't get more than one. Favin will drop him, and this is good damage done by Sprout. 2 AKs to play with as well.
Only issue is HP, right? Seriously, that one. No Kevlar either to speak of. But at least they have fought back. See how far they want to take it if they just want to try to hold on to these 2 weapons and use Searson as an early warning system. Bpro taking their time to clear out the site, making sure that they don't run into any lurking CT players before they plant the bomb down. Should very likely be another round for the T side.
So 6-5. If Sprout are unable to find kills very quickly here, and Dennis he'll spot Searson. That's the kill coming in. He only needed to do 1 damage, but he did around 300 as he looks back over towards the back lines, connects with Favin as well. And while Raf2's arrived as backup for his teammate, Spitty trying to put pressure on them. He'll be falling away, making sure they carry those 2 AKs over into the next one. Favin connects the headshot. Well, Sprout 2 end up losing the round, but at least they walk away with something.
It's a whole lot better than nothing, that's for sure. 2 AKs. It's going to make it a whole lot more comfortable to buy up, get full utility, all the bits and bobs, and also give you that one-shot potential, which is probably the bigger thing. See if Searson and Faven decide to go back to that double up setup. They have the money for it, but it would have to be glass cannon on both ends. Faven's going to opt against it, so Searson, the only one to take the risk.
If Bpro can keep this up, they can actually walk away with a pretty one-sided half if they end up converting their openings. There'll be a smoke going in towards the ramp. Viltrex was looking for that opening pick, but Sprout not really giving him that opportunity. So Bpro, they will take the brown holes and start to take their time getting into position. They've definitely favored the B bomb side, it feels like.
Yeah, good reasons as well. They've been getting a lot done there. Still two steady man on the defense for Sprout, Spitty and Searson. That's a quick reaction from Rocking. Oh, missed shot from Searson as well. He's down to 1 HP. He doesn't have Kevlar, so he needs to get out of dodge.
Yes, this is not the first time we've seen Searson on 1 HP either. Either he's getting unlucky or he's getting very lucky.
Yeah. I'll lean towards the second one. He's lucky to stay alive there. Could have very easily gone down. Bpro, they're just solidifying their advantage here. 7 rounds guaranteed. Sprout sent packing. I did not expect this much of a fight out of Bpro. They're impressing.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly my thoughts going into the first game they had against Optic was, well, this should be a pretty smooth sailing one for Optic. This should be one they have in their bag because they're a pretty good team playing against...
an unknown.
Yeah, exactly. And when they play against teams that they should be beating, they generally do it pretty convincingly, right? But Bpro showed up. Really had to stretch Optic, nearly beating them in the end.
Absolutely so. And Sprout, I mean, they know that they're going to have to go into the tougher side of things once this half is over.
Yeah, that's the scary part. The thing is here, it is a best of 3 instead of that best of 1. So the upset potential, it sort of dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially since Nuke is coming up next, and that's one where Sprout should have it in the bag.
Yeah, you'd imagine. So Bpro barely playing it, and Sprout having it as one of their most played maps, with a pretty high win rate at that too.
Although I feel like you can't really ever count out these regions like Bulgaria, where they just have so much raw skill in the teams that maybe they're not the best at sort of team play, but they just have great individuals that can win you games.
I think a map like Nuke does become pretty hard though. There's a foot there.
Oh. He spots the shoes, but it is going to be Viltrex who drops Favin. So again, he kind of loses that battle towards Ivy. He's won it a few times, but has fallen quite a couple of times as well. As Kito in towards Team In. He will be holding here with 2 players on the other end of the wall. He has got backup. If things go sour, and he will hold on for 1 kill. Searson able to grab 1 as well onto Zix. Well, it is starting to fall apart, and Searson needs to be careful.
Oh. Denislav with a smart move. He knows that Searson's kind of trapped in here. Doesn't have an HE to follow it up, though. Would have been the death of the German Opera, but Viltrex has managed to sneak his way out here. This could create quite the bit of chaos. Back at old Bomb, 1 HP, but he can still do, well, so much. Nice find onto Spitty. He had no clue what was going on, and now it's a man advantage for Bpro. They know that with the Spitty rotation coming in through backline, inner bomb site is probably going to be open, and it is. And this is going to be another situation where if you're Sprout, you're looking to save.
Yeah, this is quite the similar storyline for Sprout over and over again. Is, well, we haven't really done enough. We've kept a couple of players alive, but the defense hasn't been strong enough, so we've had to fall away again. And Bpro, they'll be loving this.
Well, this is fantastic for them. Because in addition to this, sure, great news and all for Sprout that they're able to keep some weaponry going into the next round, but some of their players have to spend money each and every time this happens. So it's not going to be great rebuys if they decide to do so, and if you don't, it's just an easier opportunity for Bpro to get more rounds on the board.
And they've already won the half as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They've already come out confirming themselves at least a 1-round lead, and Rocky's just killed himself. It's making it easier for Sprout.
It's super hopeful. You're standing about 10 meters away from the bomb, expecting that to be okay.
Yeah.
The walls actually don't reduce bomb radius here, or bomb blast damage, so...
Got to run away from that.
Yeah. I guess better to die to the bomb than giving up a kill to one of the Sprout players, I suppose. But the likelihood of them being anywhere near there is not very high. And oh, look at that! Yes, GG.Bet shifting the tides here. Bpro heavily favored here, and that's understandable with what kind of a T side they're delivering. Once again, out and about. Raftu this time, the one to get forward behind the smokes, finds one. It's going to be all it is. Equal trades so far. 3v3.
Oh. Six with a headshot. Spitty hits the deck, and again, it's the advantage for Bpro.
Fabi needs to come up big here.
Yeah, he does. He's in a decent position for it as well. He's got Seriously to back him up. He spotted the back of Viltrix, not taking his chance. So on Six, he's going to... Oh, he's going to drop him for that. That's a mistake. Seriously was trying to use the trigger discipline. And will Favin will fall as well. Bpro 9-5. And if you're serious, then you'll be kicking yourself about that one.
And so many opportunities, 2 opportunities, I should say, to get a pretty easy kill and duck out. Decided not to go for it. Wanted to play covert, I suppose. But I'm not really sure what the benefit of that is. If you shoot, even if you miss, that takes away attention from Fabian, who's rotating in through pop, right? That's going to give him an opportunity to get into the swing of things.
Perhaps the communication really wasn't there, and I felt like seriously, even if he gets that one, it was impossible that he misses that shot. He was on him, the guy was crouching around the corner. That's an easy kill. I think he was just scared of who else was behind him, but if you've got one kill, it makes it slightly easier for Fabian to win it anyway.
It's better than none, right?
Well, seriously, he'll make up for it this time. 2 kills coming in as Spitty will get one as well. And Sprout looking much better, but Rocking drops through the pop dog and grabs one back, but it's not enough just yet.
Yeah, bombs drop down on the lower bomb side as well. Seriously's going to follow up with the third. There you go. Yeah. Could have been as easy as that.
What a round from Seriously.
4 kills. And he has been, in many ways, the highlight for Sprout so far. In a rather bleak first half, I'd say.
Yeah.
Keto started off having a great first buy round, picking up 3 kills. After that, went completely AWOL. Faven, again, we saw it early on, having troubles positioning himself properly, not being able to get multi-kills at the best. He was trading 1-for-1 in situations where he should be getting more. Yeah, not a whole lot of that worked out, especially the double up setup. As expensive as it is, and as how many times they've got to run it, they didn't really get too much in return for it.
Not at all. I mean, we've seen a couple of kills from Favin, but a lot of the time was spent on the floor towards Ivy.
It's not getting the better of it.
Here it goes, the pistol. Sprout on the T side. They need to find the start that they need here. Well, it is going to be Viltrix heading his way towards Ivy. It's going to be the headshot from Raftu, though. That'll open things up onto Keto. An advantage available to the CT side, and they will continue to try and find the follow-up to that. But Raftu's going to take some damage on board. And Sprout will keep on fighting his mirror, but starting to make his way through. Dennisol and Viltrix, though, they find 2 kills. Zix elsewhere grabs 1, and it's falling apart again for Sprout. They lose every player. Bpro keep 3 alive, and it's double figures. This is completely unexpected.
This it really is, but you got to be impressed by what Bpro are delivering right now. Not just in terms of how well they're able to play with the high tempo throughout their T side, which is usually very tough to do, becomes very chaotic. So communication is on point within the Bulgarian squad, but also the individuals, right? Six having a great game so far. I think Dennisol has definitely showcased that he's got prowess with the op. And Rocking, just solid. Everyone on the team has been solid.
Yeah.
It's great news. I mean, Bulgaria just seems to be producing more and more talents as we go.
Well, Viltrax off towards Ivy position, starting to spray away with the FAMAS, full blind. You have to run away. He starts to tap away with the pistol, but the rest of his teammates are still finding kills, and Sprout just aren't. Keto slithers away with 2 kills now, but that's all she wrote for it. It's 11-6. Bpro on their merry way to the second map with a map win under their belt.
Yeah, I was expecting this to be a pretty quick 2-0 for Sprout, just given how they've played in recent times. Bpro wanting it otherwise, and who knows what they've come up with on Nuke, right?
Yeah, exactly, because everything is unexpected, really, and you can't make too many assumptions about them. You have to kind of make the educated decision based on what we know about Sprout.
Yeah. So far, though, we're being proven wrong, and in a fun way, too. Bpro just playing solid Counter-Strike.
It has felt like a very quick match already, though. That first half
Bpro has just been running
so quickly.
Yeah, they've just been running at them. Sprout definitely not being completely equipped to deal with it either. The Viltrax, easy double kill in Ivy. Having a much better time than what Faven was on the opposite side. Houston alone. So as far as anti-eco rounds go, Bpro come alive with 8 out of 10 possible living. That does wonders for your economy as well. Denislaw not going to opt in for any sort of op early on. He's actually going to go for the AUG.
Yeah. A weapon we non-stop talked about for 8 months, and then suddenly it's just gone, right?
It disappeared rather quickly, but it's still some players who decide to opt in for it. It still has its purposes. It still has its uses. I think Train is one of the maps where it is more prominent than others. And again, he decided to do this on the T side as well. Do 1 rifle round before he eventually swapped over to the op. And if he's able to find impact in both ways, can't really argue with it. This is aggressive from Rocking. Not going for the immediate peak like we saw Searson do with the op, but just hanging out. Gets the Molotov down early as well.
Instantly, a smoke hits the Molotov, but the kill comes in from Rocking, triggered back by Keto. And it's good that he gets that trigger quickly for Sprout, as it gives them a chance into this one. Bomb getting planted, Mirbit holding off the rotation. The big flank was coming through, but Mirbit, he has got the first, and he knows there's a second there as well.
6 was expecting Mirbit to be upstairs. Now he's a little bit confused as to where he's gone.
This looks like it could be a safe call here from the CZ side.
It might not even make it that far, though.
Yeah, Mirbit coming in with a big flank towards Connector. It's going to be Denislaw hitting the deck. Mirbit goes back in towards the site, wary of the pop dog position. And while Viltrex is all the way back towards Old Bomb. The money's not a problem for Bpro moving into the next one. This is kind of a bit of a bonus. And while Zix has got 2 kills, that's 2 rebuys he's forced on the Sprout. So that's great damage.
He's going to stay alive, too. Wonderfully done.
Yeah, they made the most out of a bad situation there.
Absolutely. Picks up an AK to boot. And as you said, there's not going to be an issue for them to buy here either. Loving what I'm seeing so far from the Bulgarians. 6, definitely having a big game here so far.
Well, Denislaw, see what he can do with his op. You know, he has a lot of potential on it, and Searson is showing that he's fragging as well, so perhaps we'll get that op battle. Spitty already on towards the Bob site. There's an opportunity, but he looks above him, and Denislaw gets dropped off the top of the train. Train comes in, but it's not for long as Keto steps up again for Sprout. Man advantage stands with the T side, and this should be a good chance for Sprout to really get into this game. If they can start to build up a few in a row here on the T side, that's when the momentum can start to kick in. They can find themselves competing once more.
Absolutely. So double pop set up here. Thwarted for the time being. To put down the smoke to maintain position. Sprout decided to slow things down. They still have utility here to set up executes. Only 1 smoke. That could be a bit of an issue unless they want to go towards the interbomb site. We'll see if they just want to use the numbers in their advantage, and that's what they do. Double peek. Mirbit finds Raftu. Actually, just a single peek, actually. Still wins out. Zix eventually gets a return, and Faven seems hesitant to actually go for a review frag, and that's going to net him another chance. 6 is coming up big here. He's in a pretty tucked away position, too. One by one, they go down.
That's nuts from Zix. There's a real chance here, but it's a 1v1 against the FAMAS, and Keto wins it at long range. He gets the AWP as well. But Zix makes that competitive again. He keeps Sprout's economy modest.
That he does, but so is the economy on the Bpro side. They've actually decided to buy up an op on Denislaw. Vilcek sacrificing his entire economy for it. So a mishmash buy. MP9, UMP, FAMAS, Deagle, and an op, and not a whole lot of utility. So they're going to have to rely heavily on Dennis being able to find some early frags.
Mirbit. Searson towards long, or Ivy. He's looking for the pick. The flash will come in. Denislaw forced off the angle, and well, he'll have to play a little bit more passively. He has got Viltrex close towards the server box. If he can take the attention here, Denislaw. Viltrex should be good for at least 1 kill. But Searson has got the AWP close, and well, the scoping should be heard by Viltrex, so Denislaw knows what's on the other end of it. He knows he has an AWP battle. If he chooses to take it, that's the other question. As the Molotov goes in towards Viltrex, he has to use the smoke. So, Searson knows there's a player towards server, or was a player towards server, as Viltrex has run away. And with under a minute left on the clock, Sprout just taking their time, methodically clearing areas of the map. They haven't really got a whole lot of control yet, so perhaps they'll have to rely on an execute.
Could very well be it. They're going to Molotov sandwich. Clear out at least some space.
Spitty, Favin with the pickups on the AKs. Looking good for the T side. 20 seconds though. They have to try and get onto the bomb side, and that's the big problem. 15 seconds. This is really starting to get into scary territory at this point. Bomb finally planted. Well, Bpro don't really do a whole lot. They're just going to be sitting back passively at this point, waiting for an opportunity, waiting for a Sprout player to walk in towards them. But it's not happening just yet. Sprout look like they've got this one in the bag, and with the investment that Bpro brought into this, they can't really afford to let it just slide. So they're going to try and bring that one into the next, and Sprout will be allowed up to 9.
They are slowly but surely making a bit of a comeback here on the T side. Again, the economy hasn't been looking good for Bpro for a little bit. But I've got to give credit to Sprout for being able to pounce when it an opportunity given to them, and again, they're going to make the most out of it here. Keto goes down, so some rebuys having to be made for Sprout. It could pay dividends in the long run. I think, well, more importantly, managing to hold on to that op. We didn't get to see it really come into action early on. Might be a bit of a difference now.
Yeah, Dennis Law got wrecked by Speedy just walking through a smoke, so you know, you can't really do too much about that sort of unorthodox play, but it's serious in this time. Straight away towards teammate, crosses back over. He spots a player going towards E-Box, and with the assistance of Speedy, he gets that kill. Skito pushing through pop, wants to try and take a kill towards Viltrex. He's got that alongside Sirison, and well, Dennis Loy has got a kill, but he needs 4 more. It has to be the 1v4, it's clutch. When the bomb planted, it's a long way off again. Save time for Bpro, and it's the T sides today that seem to be the more favorite affair.
Yeah, everything's flipped on its head.
Keto, no, he's just walked below Dennis Law. That'll be the kill. Well, that's 2, but they know what Dennis Law is not, so he has to run away, and he might just get caught here by Favin. He's going for the taps, and Dennis Law, he'll turn back and get that kill as well. So that's 3. Seriously, should be the final destination here for Dennis Law. If he overextends, it surely will be the kill. He's getting pushed from 2 angles. Mirbit coming in towards him. Molotov not reaching its mark, so that might just save Dennis Law at this point. Searson flanking in behind. No, Searson there, and it's the Glock that gets it in the end. It's 12-10. Sprout hit double figures, and Bpro, they don't save the op over. They still have the chance to pick it up, though. Dennis Law had enough money.
Yeah.
It's the hit on the utility, though, that comes through.
Definitely is. You know how important that can be on the CT side to just stem T's from flurrying out into the yard and, well, pretty much anywhere on the map. So Bpro need to get their footing here back in the game. 3 rounds on the CT side so far, and that's all off of the pistol. And we see the anti-eco rounds and some shenanigans from Spitty with Zeus.
It's always fun to see.
Absolutely. And here's the big 3K round from Keto earlier on to get them started.
Pretty surprised they don't have a Zeus skin in the game.
Yeah, it feels like that would have been one of the things they got on pretty early when they announced it, especially because they do fun stuff with it for anniversaries and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or
you could have had like the birthday skin.
Yeah.
It's a missed mark there for Valve, really.
Might be in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. I feel like the whole hype around skins, I don't know, at least for me, it's not as big anymore.
I was never really that big into skins, I'll be honest. To me, it's just, I don't know. The gun works the same. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It doesn't really affect it. It's more...
Knives were cool, though, but I always wanted the 1.5 knife, which is like the upside, where you hold it upside down. That still hasn't gotten into the game. It's a little bit sad about that.
Yeah.
But
I think my favorite knife at the minute is one of the new ones, the Ursus knife, because really you're paying for the animation, right?
Yeah.
And the Ursus knife, you get 3 animations. So I'm basically trying to maximize my money.
Fair enough. I've always been a big fan of the Karambit.
Yeah, that's a good one. They made the budget version as well, the Talon.
Yeah. One thing I never really understood. What's the one with the
Shadow Daggers?
Yeah, the Shadow Daggers, also known as the butt plugs.
I feel like they would hurt though.
Yeah, it's definitely not comfortable. Speaking of not so comfortable situations to be in, 6 yet again with a big double kill. It's going to be sectioned off at the very least, but he's done his damage.
Well, this is over already. Sprout with 2 players. Good stuff for Bpro. Seriously spotted. Here's his chance to maybe find an opening back into this for Sprout. But Dennis Law's taking his teammate away, and Zix walked in from behind. Strange round, but Bpro won't be complaining at all. 13-10, 3 away from victory here on Trin. If you are just tuning in, this is the map pick. If you turn your attentions towards the top right of Bpro. Trin is their pick. Moving on to the next one, that'll be Sprout's pick of Nuke. We've kind of discussed how that one should be more favored towards the Sprout side, but with the way they're performing right now, maybe there's a chance here for Bpro to take that win as well.
Things can happen. That's for sure, and we've seen Bpro definitely having the individual skill to keep up with Sprout here so far. We'll see if I guess the communication manages to stack up on a map like Nuke as well.
Yeah, Nuke becomes a little bit more complex.
It does. Ooh, Dennis. Gonna get an opportunity to find one, and eventually does, but Seriously's been able to catch one off guard. Spilltrick's going down in Ivy, but Bpro players are at the right place at the right time for now to get trades and hold Sprout off, so nothing's really been shaken up too much, and the aggressive push from Rafter is going to find the bomb. That is big. Question is if he gets the timing and drop on Keto as well. Yes, he does.
Well, Mirbit and Spitty. 2v4. Mirbit will take the kill on towards Zix, and the AK is picked up. It's the man advantage on the CT side. A minute left on the clock, and well, the CTs are just going to be trying to hold on to the bomb, but Spitty's coming back for it. He wants it back, and Raftu hiding behind the smoke. Spitty's got the bomb. He's going back towards teammate, and he finally spots it. There's the fight coming in, and Raftu wins it against Spitty. Mirbit alone in the world with a 1v3, and he runs right into Dennis Law. 14-10. 2 away here at Bpro from taking Trin away. And if you are a CS fan, I don't think anybody who is sort of follows the scene will have predicted this. Maybe if you're a big Bpro fan, maybe if you'd watched their games, you maybe knew it was coming. But certainly, I would say that most people would predict Sprout to win this. Yeah,
no, definitely so. Sprout has been a team that's, again, vying to potentially make it to minor qualifiers and that kind of thing. They're obviously quite up there. For a period of time, there was a legitimate question whether or not they were the best team in Germany. And Bpro haven't quite gotten the mantle as the best team in Bulgaria. That would still go to Windigo, right?
Yeah.
But this is cool. This is nice to see that there's growth in other regions as well. Well, this is an open bomb site.
What is going on? Sprout just walked right towards B, and well, that's it. They've got the bomb planted, and they've got the kill. So Sirison collects that one. Keto's already in CT spawn. And at this point, Bpro are going to save. So I guess both teams have agreed to get a free run. We just had Bpro walk it all over Sprout in the last one. And then in this one, Sprout just walk in towards the B bomb site, and there's literally no one there.
Yeah. That's
as easy as they come. And it was a full buy run for both teams as well.
Yeah, just the smokes early on out in Yard are really what bites them in the back. It's an over-rotation, and we have to pay for it as well. To be fair, when you're as close as Bpro are right now, you can kind of take the gamble at times to stack up with all 5 players towards one bomb site. If it pans out, you're on map point.
Exactly.
You have rounds to play with.
Pause coming in. I think it's much needed.
I think it's Bpro being like, wait, what did we just do there, guys?
This is where those fights start to come through, right? This is when you start to lose control of a game, is when you just have a big blunder like that.
Hopefully they're a little bit more tempered, because they have to look at it in the way that, okay, so we had a little bit of an oopsie. That's okay, because we've had most of our players, you know, make it through to the next round. It's not like our economy's been sent completely to the dumpster, and we still have a 3-round lead. We can very much keep this in the within range without letting Sprout feel like they've gotten an upper hand on the second half. So hopefully they showcase enough experience and enough head presence to really dig in here for the last couple of rounds and being able to win a map versus Sprout, that would be quite the scalp to take.
Well, Dennis Law, he's in behind the server. Flash goes in again. This time, Sprout want to try and challenge on this angle, and seriously, he always gets that Molotov in for him, and this again will cause the smoke to come through from Dennis Law. He goes for the timing shot, but he's just going to hide behind it. Dennis Law is not leaving that position. He's got the backup of Viltrex as the follow-up molly comes in as well.
A little bit surprised they don't wait out the smoke in that case. Okay, well, that's also one way of dealing with it.
Yep, that certainly is a way of dealing with it.
Finding the angle inside the smoke. So, Searson starts the dance-off here. 4v5. Bpro being put on their back foot, and they can't repick into this. Searson's got height. He sees over the smoke, so Rafty needs to be careful. No over-rotation just yet. They still have rocking it over towards that inner bomb site. That's a great flash, but Searson ducks out in time.
Yeah, the flashbangs have been on point for the CT side so far. Really the only thing that's able to counter Searson at this point.
Yeah. He's been hitting shots left and right. 6 tasked with the job of holding off Pop and Main at the same time. Viltrex going to get smoked off as well.
Double flash as well as Keto starts to make his way in towards the bomb site. Raf2 has got the help of 6, but has to try and take this kill. Keto will get one. The trade comes in from 6, who's doing excellent work here. Nearly the 3rd kill as well. Unfortunately, he does fall. Viltrex will step up, and he's got another as Favin will hit the deck. It's Spitty. 1v2. He can certainly pull this off, but Rocking, he's on the blind side.
Oh, 7 seconds, though. How is he going to get a bomb plant down in this situation? That's just not going to happen. 15 rounds and map point for Bpro. On the CT side of Train, doing it all. And the buy from the side of Sprout, it's going to come in, but it's not going to be a full one. Searson does have enough money to get an op. Keto can get an AK, but again, it's going to be lacking utility. Well, this is a prime opportunity for the Bulgarian squad to start off this best-of-3 series with a bit of an upset.
Yeah, with a big bang. And well, they have got themselves an AWP in the hands of Dennis Law, who has been countered quite heavily, actually, towards Ivy. I'd like to see him be a bit more dynamic, like Searson was on the CT side.
Yep.
You need to find him towards upper B. They still need on the A-bomb side. I'd like to see that a little bit more here from Dennis Law, because he definitely has that skill set.
Absolutely does, but for now, they're doing just fine with having 6 kind of clean up the mess that everyone else is around him. He's playing great right now. I think he's up to 28 kills or even more. Let's see. Yeah, 28 to his name. Doing a ton of damage. Dennis Law, as you said, we haven't seen him as proactive, I suppose, as Searson on the CT side, but still getting frags when presented to him. 20. Searson jumps in with his back turn to avoid any sort of flashes, but it's just going to be Molotov to greet him.
Molotov starts to burn a little bit of Zix away. Chips a bit of damage off. Sprout taking their time, being a little bit slower in their approach this time. Much slower than Bpro were on their T side.
At this point, we would have finished 2 T-halves on the side of Bpro. They were just running out everywhere. Finding a lot of success with it as well, which is cool.
Oh, well, Spitty, he's dropped to 2 HP immediately, and that might just cause problems for him as Keto wants to go in towards B, but Rocking's waiting for him. Dennis Law picks up a kill on the Spitty as well. Sprout falling apart here. They may take their time, but when they finally walk into the brick wall, it's not going well for them, but Rocking runs out of ammo. Bomb still hits the deck, and Searson is alone. 1v3. He's been the shining light for Sprout. He needs to shine so bright at this point to keep his team alive, to keep them afloat here on Train. It is Bpro's map pick, but you still would have predicted Sprout to win it. They're going to have to try and bounce back in the second map if Searson cannot pull this off.
They're playing so reserved on the side of Bpro as well, not falling for the temptation to go hunting. You know, they have the bomb. Oh. Now they know the positioning of Searson as well, down to 1 HP on 6.
Well, he's had a fair few 1 HP moments, Searson, in this game, but it's not enough. 16-11, Sprout do fall on Train, and Bpro with the upset.
Yeah, impressive showing from the Bulgarian team right there. 6 having a masterful game. I think he ended up at 30, if not 29, but definitely getting up there in the scoreboard, which is great to see. Excellent showing just all around. We saw pretty much everyone on the side of Bpro having big, impactful rounds.
Yeah, it's quite incredible to see a team like this where you really don't know too much about them, and they come in and they have a great game against Optic, nearly beat them. They've come into this one against Sprout, and they're showing that they can perform, and they've taken the first map away, and certainly making the most of their opportunity here.
Absolutely. Making it through the open qualifiers in any sort of state, especially in Europe, is never easy. So for them to manage to topple that hurdle is an accomplishment in itself. For them to take it further now, it's a great start. So now we get to see how they deal with, I guess, a real challenge, which is going to be new because their second map.
Yeah, we'll see if they can go all the way and convert this into a 2-0 win, or will Sprout bounce back on Nuke. Join us after the break to